Starting a successful business is no easy feat. Statistics show that 1 in 5 businesses fail within the first 2 years, and nearly half never make it to the fifth year. Whether it's due to a flawed marketing strategy, running out of funds before gaining momentum, or unexpected challenges, the journey is riddled with obstacles. It takes someone daring, talented, and perhaps with a touch of luck to build not just one, but multiple successful businesses. So, when a founder comes along with a track record of multiple business successes, it's undeniably remarkable. Today, we are joined by Mr. Rajesh Joshi, a serial entrepreneur who has founded several companies since 1998. Let's explore his remarkable entrepreneurial journey. Rajesh ji, welcome to TICE TV. So, Rajesh ji, as a serial entrepreneur, could you describe your journey in serial entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So serial entrepreneurship, essentially, we always heard about TV serials. We heard about serial killers. I think now we hear a lot about serial entrepreneurs.
Serial entrepreneurs.
So serial entrepreneurs, essentially, they do different businesses at different times of their life. So हम अलग-अलग ideas आती है. We want to solve different problems at different stage of our life. That's what first serial entrepreneurship is, because I think lot of parents आजकल डर जाते हैं कि मेरे बेटे को serial entrepreneur बनना है. उन्होंने या तो TV serial देखा है या serial killer देखा है. So I think all the parents, if your boy girl wants to be a serial entrepreneur, it's a good thing because उसके पास multiple ideas है. So sometimes opportunities आपके पास आती है जो multiple होती है, different times of आपकी life में आती है. Sometimes you have to close your business. So you did a great introduction, but you said multiple successful businesses. A couple of my businesses were not successful. They were actually failures. So sometimes आप नई company तब चालू करते हैं, नया venture तब चालू करते हैं after a failure also. Sometimes you get a great exit and now you want to use your learning of your past failed / successful businesses and implement it better. So that has been my journey. I started making website design, to making software solutions, to selling musical instruments online, to selling payment gateways online, to also bringing some overseas-based customers in India to source products here. Similarly, I arranged some India business trip. That business was called, where you're coming to India to do certain businesses, JV, SVU. So I've done multiple businesses, and some of them worked, some of them paid my bills, and some of them gave me some good exit. So that's been my journey. At different times you get different ideas and solve different problems.
So Rajesh ji, आपकी जर्नी तो बहुत commendable रही है. So making it very simpler for our audience, अगर हम ये serial entrepreneurship को define करना चाहिए कि who is a serial entrepreneur, तो उसको आप कैसे simple words में define करिएगा?
Like I said, it's just actually like a TV serial that हर शाम को और certain time पे आता है. It's a series of ventures you do. आपके पास different ideas होती है, different time पे idea होती है. You start that projects at different time and you do that business.
Okay. So, एक normal entrepreneur जो हम जानते हैं, businessman को entrepreneur बोला जाता है. What is it that distinguishes a serial entrepreneur from an ordinary entrepreneur?
No entrepreneur is ordinary. So I will not say that entrepreneur is ordinary. Somebody likes their idea and they want to build on it. उनको वही problem solve करनी है, वही idea करनी है for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. There are other entrepreneur styles, as your title says, entrepreneur, what's your style? Some people have different style. They want to solve a problem right now because उनको लगता है problem में है. Sometimes they also lose interest in solving that problem. Sometimes they lose interest in doing the business जो वो करते हैं. Then they shut it or sell it or give somebody else to run and start something new. So that distinguishes, basically, I think, if I have to say what distinguishes more is, maybe a serial entrepreneur has more to do, more passion to solve more problems and want to give to the world more of his talent, his or her talent, with his own capabilities, with the building the product, solution, services.
So, जैसे कि आपने बताया कि ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आपके पास में you are a successful businessman तो फिर आप एक serial entrepreneur बनते हैं. हो सकता है कि you are losing interest in your present business and you want to venture into a new business. So, Rajesh ji, in your opinion, what is the most crucial trait that a serial entrepreneur must possess?
Like I said, a serial entrepreneur should be passionate about solving different problems.
Okay.
अगर आपका passion है क्या you want to solve the problem in retail, you want to solve the problem in transportation, you want to solve the problem in e-commerce, you want to solve the problem in fintech, right? You have to be passionate. अगर आपके पास passion नहीं है तो so that's the crucial difference. So you have to be passionate about it. And like, famously, Elon Musk said once the thing that I start companies because I want to get things done, right? So it's that passion that you start different series of companies because you want to get different things done. You want to change the ecosystem, the economy, the business environment of that particular industry. And we have successful serial entrepreneurs from the startup world. The Bansals are famous for that. Sandeep Agarwal, Doom founder, has done that. He has started successfully built 2 unicorns within 4 or 5 years. If you go back, during the 90s or the 2000s decade of which was the IT decade of India, Ashok Soota has done a great job by starting different companies at different times.
तो मतलब कि राजेश जी, ये जो टर्म है सीरियल एंटरप्रेन्योर, ये हमेशा से था, हम लोगों को पता नहीं था, या लोग आजकल इस वर्ड को ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं, या इट्स अ न्यू टर्म which has been discovered, which has been innovated, just like the startup innovations?
So honestly, I feel entrepreneurs like me have started this word serial entrepreneur to make it very catchy. क्योंकि हमारे एक दो ventures, sorry, I was just kidding.
You are a successful businessman, Rajesh ji.
So yeah, so I think the word came out because this word is very famous in the US, and a lot of things we have done in entrepreneurship innovation ecosystem is from the US. So I think it's a great word. It's also, like I honestly say, it's also a good way to hide your failures, right? You say, मैं तो serial entrepreneur हूँ, and then you do different businesses, and at the same time, a lot of entrepreneurs now have been serially successful. So I think that's why it has catch-ups. You're right, so rightly. That when I go to few colleges and universities to talk to students about innovation and entrepreneurship, some people just come up to me and say, "Sir, मुझे serial entrepreneur बनना है. Tell me how to become that." So I think it's also a very opportune topic which you guys have brought in, because I think in certain tier 2, tier 3 cities, or basically when people are not even aware about entrepreneurship as such, it's good that nobody goes after this spade, and they should know why people become serial entrepreneur, why people do different businesses at different point of time.
So, Rajesh ji, why do people become serial entrepreneurs?
Essentially, like I said, different ideas at different times. Sometimes my previous business is unsuccessful. Sometimes my previous business is so successful that the same set of team investors, want me to start another. They are looking to get some new ideas.
From you.
So I think serial entrepreneurship is a thought process for sure, but it's also a timing. It's also a time factor, right? Nobody starts a career saying, I want to be a serial entrepreneur, which is different than a multipreneur. A multipreneur is a person who starts 4 businesses or more than 1 businesses at the same time with the idea that I want to work on different things.
So that is another term, another new term which we'll come to later, Rajesh ji. So serial entrepreneur, जैसे कि आपने बताया कि if somebody starts a business and they simultaneously, one after the another, they explore different businesses, they are the serial entrepreneurs. But Rajesh ji, कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि who lose interest in the businesses. They are not very patient. They want the results very fast because it's a instant generation. They want the results in 2 minutes. तो उनको results नहीं मिलता है, they are very desperate and they quickly start another business. तो इन लोगों के लिए आप क्या बोलेंगे? Are they also serial entrepreneurs? What message do you have for them?
Yeah, I think by the definition of serial entrepreneurs, they are serial entrepreneurs. Like I said, by definition of serial entrepreneur, even a failed previous or a successful or serial entrepreneur. I think it's what I will say is, I think it's great that people, one thing is sometimes you need to be very resilient and be resourceful. And sometimes, I've seen a lot, and I've seen this lot in the youth today. If something is not working out, they probably
they lose interest.
They lose interest and move from that business. At the same time, I think the concept of US or the Western concept is fail fast, which is I think this is also a factor of that. That I think we are learning to fail fast
Yes.
rather than. So I think it's also a factor of that we are learning to fail fast, and that's it. So I think it's great that it's happening. But at the same time, my request or my always assertion towards startup and entrepreneurs are sometimes वो बस 1 मीटर और खोदना है और oil है नीचे. Sometimes startups, entrepreneurs, don't have the wherewithal to just do that extra 1 or 2 step, and maybe the success is right around the corner.
So, Rajeshji, what will you advise to such entrepreneurs? Like, how should they decide that it's time to fail? It's time to decide like it's the time to shut your business and start a new business or do something else. So, how should they go about this?
It's a very tricky question because honestly, I in my second venture, when I realized that the company is not going anywhere, it took me 1 year to decide to shut down. So it's a very, very tricky. It's very personal. I feel that when you lose interest, आपको जब as an entrepreneur, you get a fatigue.
Not only losing interest, Rajeshji. Suppose if your business is not working, also then also the same thing.
Yeah,
You have to decide that you have to fail fast.
probably when your business is not working, I think that's the time you need to give it more. आपका बच्चा जब आपकी नहीं सुनता है तो आपको सबसे ज़्यादा ध्यान देना है उसको, so that the kid listens to you and you see where you're going wrong, right? So I think when business is not doing well, you can still change around. There are a lot of stories, entrepreneurs or startups जिन्होंने pivot किया है, जिन्होंने एक certain direction में जा रहे थे and they became something else. The idea is the founder's fatigue should not be there. जब आपको लगे ऑफिस जाना, आपको with due respects to people who do jobs, आपको ऑफिस जाना, वो same every person who is a employee उसके जैसा लगे हर एक दिन. I think that's the time. I think a lot of people, and I made that mistake, like I said, 1 साल पहले मुझे शायद वो business shut down कर देना चाहिए था, but I had a fatigue. And I think that founders' fatigue is very important. You need to realize it's okay if you don't have customers, it's okay even if you don't have a team, but आपको जो fatigue हो जाए, I think that's the time to really close.
And sometimes even the market is not ready for your product. Maybe आपने समय के पहले कोई product launch कर दिया है, या maybe by the time you launch the product, that the demand for that product is already gone. So
Yeah.
these are also some of the
Yes,
reasons.
so
Yeah.
market factors, investors, teams not performing well, not having the right team, ये सब factors common
Multiple
रहेंगे,
factors.
or and you can ride over that. But I think what you can't ride over and you should not ignore is your fatigue, where you feel bored to go to your day just because you have started, you are doing it. I think that's where you realize either you, give that business to somebody else to handle for a certain period of time, or you shut it down,
Shut it down.
or try to look for an exit.
So, Rajeshji, what motivates a serial entrepreneur to embark on a series of journeys?
The same thing what I said before, right? It's the idea. They get ideas at different time. They see opportunities at different time, and they want to solve different problems at different time. I think that's the single motivation. What motivates a successful entrepreneur is because he has done it once, he or she has done it once, and she has the resources to do it again. So that's an added advantage. But I think most of the serial entrepreneurs have this something in them which says, okay, I'm done with one thing, now I want to start.
You want to start another thing. Okay. But Rajeshji, एक बात और है कि dealing with the aftermath of a failed business can also be very challenging. How do you deal, or how do you address the perception and trust issues when you approach the same set of people, the same set of investors, the incubators, the same set of consumers? So that is very challenging. So वो उससे आप कैसे deal करते हैं?
So, like I think it's famously said that success आपको कम सिखाती है, failure आपको ज़्यादा सिखाती है, और बहुत सख्त सिखाती है. So I think it's the same thing. A lot of failed entrepreneurs, they choose to learn what mistakes they did. They choose to learn the hard lessons of life. And I think that what makes them more resilient. It's a difficult thing. I mean, मेरे साथ भी हुआ, like I said, my second business was a failure. Third almost looked like a failure because the industry what I was getting into, people would say, ये इंडिया में नहीं चलेगा. This would not work in India. This will never happen in India. People don't buy, USB and books online. How will people buy a guitar online, right? So you have more because people think you're going more eccentric. ये वेंचर तुम्हारा फेल हुआ, उसको टॉलरेट किया आपको, अभी तुम फिर से एक नई आइडिया लेके आ रहे हो,
तो
और वो तो और भी this thing is you get lot
way ahead of the time sometimes.
you get a lot of flake. But my learnings of my previous business was I just decided to give up soon. So I didn't do that with my third venture, where we said that, okay, we'll fight the market. It's okay, like I've said, product market fit, or sometimes you come with a product before the market is ready. You say the market will be ready. And I think that's what you do. I think it's a difficult thing, but yeah, choose the lessons which you have learned from your failures and be at it.
But आप जब वो सेम सेट ऑफ लोगों से डील करे जाते हैं, when you are dealing with the people who already have a perception about you, they already have a preconceived notion about you. आपके साथ में एक फेलियर का टैग लगा हुआ है, so उसके साथ कैसे ये serial entrepreneurs जो हैं, how can they deal with such kind of people?
I think the best is उन लोगों से मिलो ही मत जो आपके साथ पहले.
और इकोसिस्टम में जब आप काम करते हैं, so it's a niche area, तो वहाँ पे सेम सेट ऑफ लोग रहते हैं, तो आप चाहे या ना चाहे आपको मिलना ही है उनसे.
I think the great, I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, India में इतने सारे लोग हैं ecosystem में, you can approach. But I know what you're saying because वो बात, people talk, so they will come to know about you, your previous venture, which didn't do well. And sometimes like I'm telling you about myself, I was not able to face the family also. I couldn't go to any social gathering. We're talking about the ecosystem. I couldn't be in my family gatherings because they would say, अच्छा कंपनी बंद कर दी, अच्छा तो बोला ही था जॉब ढूंढ ले. They will say, अरे यार वो तेरे साथ उसने किया, वो तो अच्छा कर रहा है. So you will hear those things. But I think in the end it all comes to your your resilience. That no, this time you will do it better. Even if you don't do it this time better, you will do next time better. So your question is right, but I think you have to find your inner strength. You have to, and that's what entrepreneurship
was all about.
It's about entrepreneur. So you have to be self-inspired and self-motivated.
ये आपने अच्छा वर्ड यूज या इनोवेट किया, entrepreneur. So what strategies can you recommend to a serial entrepreneur for evaluating the viability of their business ideas?
Well, it's a difficult because there's so many industries. I think the same thing which I'll keep repeating the same thing I've repeated.
नहीं, ये मैंने आपसे क्यों पूछा, मैं आपको बताती हूँ. क्योंकि कभी कभार क्या होता है कि आप एक आइडिया लेके यू बिकम सक्सेसफुल. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द फेल्ड बिजनेसेस, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द सक्सेसफुल बिजनेसेस. तो आपको लगता है कि यही आइडिया दोबारा काम कर जाएगा, एंड यू गो विद द सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ आइडिया, बट दैट डजंट क्लिक. तो उसकी वायबिलिटी आप कैसे इवैल्यूएट कर सकते हैं?
So for example, अगर आपने e-commerce business चालू किया है in a certain industry, just giving a rough example, probably that didn't work in that industry, but doesn't mean वो e-commerce business किसी और industry में नहीं काम करेगा. So you have to know your core, like what is your passion, what excites you, and what problem you want to solve. We wanted to solve a problem that even in tier 2, tier 3 cities, far off places in Northeast, everyone should have a musical instrument in their hand. That's what we did, Bajao. With Oracle Logic, what we did is every business should have a website everywhere. So it didn't work, the Oracle Logic part, because we are not able to scale it. But the e-commerce business worked, right? Because Harek ko, you just need to look at your strengths, have the passion to solve that particular problem.
एंड ऑल्सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आपको ये पता करना है कि वो प्रॉब्लम है भी कि नहीं, लोगों को उस प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन की जरूरत है भी कि नहीं.
सिर्फ एंटरप्रेन्योर को लेसन्स लर्न हो
जाते हैं, एक्सपीरियंस टीचर्स यू. या सो आपने तो पहली कोई सक्सेसफुल सीरियल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स का नाम हमें बताया शो में, तो वुड यू लाइक टू नेम सम वेरी सक्सेसफुल एंटरप्रेन्योर, सीरियल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स फ्रॉम अराउंड द वर्ल्ड और इन इंडिया, लाइक जो जिसको कि लोग जानते भी नहीं है कि ये सीरियल एंटरप्रेन्योर है?
Well, then it will take me. I think to be very honest, if you look closer at home, the Tatas, the Birlas, all the industrialist families, the Manis, Adanis, they are serial entrepreneurs.
Serial
They have
entrepreneurs.
started different businesses at different sort of time. The most famous serial entrepreneur whom I like, and he has written a good autobiography also, is Richard Branson, who started with just Virgin Records, then airlines, and then he's in series of business. So Elon Musk is the famous one, anyways. So in India, a lot of the right now the startup unicorns are just kind of doing a similar kind of thing, like the Bansals. I mentioned Sandeep Agarwal, a few names which come to mind. Again, now the serial entrepreneur has become a bit more different now also. Like some of them, which these founders, the new age startup unicorn founders or startup founders are doing, that now they are also investing in other startups. So in a way, I will not say that serial entrepreneurship, but they're giving other entrepreneurs also investments and giving them a way to grow, which is in a way maybe a new form of serial entrepreneurship. That instead of me starting different businesses,
I'll be
let
investing
me
into
invest in different businesses,
So-
which is also a great way to
making your
support.
money work
Yeah.
for you. So आपने एक और term use किया था राजेश जी, multipreneur. So this term is also gaining a lot of prominence these days. So who exactly are multipreneurs? ये term क्या है?
So multipreneurs, I think, gained a lot of momentum specifically from the West side because a lot of apps, mobile apps, when this apps for Google and Apple came, जब Google का Play Store or Apple का iStore got opened, a lot of mobile app developers started building different apps. So instead of making one app, they'll make 3, 4, 6
Different
apps
apps.
and sell it to them. So I think that gained traction. At the same time, historically, a lot of entrepreneurs have done 3, 4 businesses together. I mean, from India, the Gujarati businessmen, the Rajasthani businessmen, which is in our root and culture, have not done just one business at a time. I think they do multiple businesses at the same time. But now it's gaining traction with the new age people is because, you're an app developer. You make one app and then you give it to Google or Apple. You can make another app also. So you're making different businesses at the same time rather than just working on one app. Because I think with digital things have become easier to manage. Things have become easier to expand, diversify. So I think I'll see a lot of more multipreneurs happening.
So it's just a new fancy term for the old traditional kinds of businessmen who invest into different kinds of businesses simultaneously. So serial entrepreneur भी आपने हमें बताया कि वो भी different businesses करते हैं. Multipreneurs भी हैं जो different businesses में invest करते हैं.
Yeah, multipreneurs वो है जो different businesses at the same time करते हैं.
Okay.
Serial entrepreneur is the one.
So this is the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Okay. और एक और टर्म है राजेश जी जो कि हम लोग सुनते हैं जो would you like to explain that to our viewers that what is a single venture entrepreneur?
Who basically just one venture at a time and probably throughout their lifespan also.
So it's a single entrepreneur or can there be different co-founders?
They can be any founders, but that person just does one business. And and it's a very good thing that you brought this topic up because like I said, when I go to a lot of these tier 2, tier 3 cities and even in metros, a lot of people don't understand. So I think like you rightly have, again, what's your style? It's very important when you're starting your entrepreneurship journey, you decide what you want to be, right? Some people like to start one business and stick to it and build it as a legacy, for 20 years, 25 years. Some people inherently like to move with the tide and, do different things at different different times of their life, have different ideas, find different opportunities. So they do serial entrepreneurship. At the same time, people who have the wherewithal, the time, they can do 4 businesses or 5 businesses at the same time. So I think it's a good lesson for all the young people there or anyone there looking to look at entrepreneurship, to look at what's their style. And trust me, not every style suits everyone, right? Like, for example, I thought when I did my second business that I'm the single venture type. And I'll do this for the next 20, 25 years. But when you do that, you realize, oh, you're not meant for that because something else is exciting for you. You're not made for doing this kind of business. So I think comes from experience,
From experience only, because it's a ever-changing world and the demands and needs are ever evolving. So you,
And I think you're also changing as a person,
yeah.
right? What I was when I was 21-year-old, when I wanted to build a business till 50 years, I was not there at 25 years. I'm not there at this age also, right? So different needs change about you also. So I think none of you should get stuck at just doing this. And that's why I don't go after these fancy words and what you hear. Look at what suits you, what's your style, find out your style first. And then you should get into
So Rajesh, what's your style? Out of the three, the single venture entrepreneurship, serial entrepreneurship, or multipreneurship, what's your style?
So like I said, I did serial entrepreneurship. I got some great exit. So I decided to invest in multiple businesses. So I realized multiple business is not my style because I failed miserably there. The investments I did with, and I hope some of the startups where I've invested are listening. I've not got my money back. Some founders don't pick up my call. Some two companies have shut. Multipreneur, I'm not made for.
So,
That's a huge respect for people who do multipreneurship because to give that kind of attention, the dedication, time. And
you cannot just invest and forget about your money. It doesn't work that way. You have to be very actively watching the businesses. Like,
So I'm like a one single venture at a time, and eventually do different. My last 24 years shows that I've been a serial entrepreneur, but the idea is one single venture at a time.
So राजेश जी, थैंक यू फॉर टॉकिंग टू अस. आई एम श्योर आपने जितनी आज इन्फॉर्मेशन दी वो हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए बहुत इन्फॉर्मेटिव है. नाउ दे विल बी एबल टू डिसाइड that whether they want to become a single venture entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, or a multipreneur. So thank you for watching this video. Do like, subscribe, and share TICE newsletters. Follow us on Google News, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's stay in touch and stay tuned here.